We'll try it again. See what happens this time. Let me get on YouTube so I can see comments. Okay. See if it works this time. I don't know if anyone's getting notifications or not. Hopefully you are. We'll see what happens. Breakfast was all right, but not a lot of people up early, I guess. And some people said they didn't get notifications, so we'll see if they get notifications now. That's all. No biggie. I think Mick or some of those guys are going on later on in the afternoon, maybe a little while. I'm not going to be on that long. I figure just go on to make sure this thing's still working, because when I use StreamYard, it's supposed to notify YouTube people that I'm on. So hopefully you're there. Let me put up the link to the stream. All right, there's the link. All right, let's see who's going on. There's Harry. How you doing, Harry? Good morning or afternoon. We tried breakfast before. Now we'll try lunch. Just like yesterday, chicken pot pie. My favorite food. Anywho, how you doing, Harry? Hope all is well. Didn't have many on this morning. A lot of people said they didn't get notified, which is strange because I had about 5-6 people that said they did, but it must be the StreamYard software. Still trying to get the hang of it. Lucky 7 is trying to show me different ways so I can notify people. Yeah, it was about 5-6 o'clock there. It's 1 p.m. Eastern here. So we'll see if people chime in. I know a lot of people weren't up early. I was on 8 a.m. Eastern, which is kind of early for some of the people, especially West Coast and Canada. So just trying to see if this thing is coming through and people can actually see it. So just finished up that video with Maddie, and I just heard from James's wife. He's doing better. Hopefully he'll be around and hopefully talking with us in a few days, hopefully, God willing. So thoughts and prayers out to James. Leah, if you're watching, I sent out the text so people know. But we'll see. I just put up that video on that John Deere, the axle shot. And it's funny, it's not bolt-on spindles, it's actually welded on. So you can't repair it unless you want to grind the welds and redo it. It's not worth it. The unit's 30 years old. I went on eBay just for the heck of it, and you can buy axles, used axles, $50, $60. So, oh, there she is.
Hi.
What's going on? Hey, am I going to get the Henry police after me or what?
Oh my, I can't even tell you. I stay so far away from that nonsense.
Yeah.
Anyway, more importantly, this worked. What did you do this time? Because I actually got the notification.
Same thing. All the same. Nothing different.
Hold on. Okay, I'm in.
No, nothing different. But Lucky was telling me there's different ways I can go in to like remind people and stuff, but I'm still new at it, so.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? We still are figuring things out. Just forgive me because literally I got in the car because I was telling Matt's live, we got our official email last night from Department of Health. We have our first case. A very close staff member is positive.
Wow.
So it went out to the community of parents and children last night at almost 9:30 last night. So I'm assuming because of the amount of emails and please contact me this mornings I got, that a lot of parents were already asleep last night when they got it. But my morning was filled with just trying to reassure families and, calm everybody and settle everyone. But I was saying to Matt this morning, I really could have used your live.
No, there's nobody there. I'm sitting there. There was like 5 or 6 of us. It was all right. But question though, are you still going? Are schools still open there?
They're not. And here's the thing. The problem with the confirmed case that we have, the individual actually, the time frame, she would have been around staff when she had symptoms.
Oh boy.
It's just there was such a delay in the time frame of the testing.
Yeah.
And when the actual symptoms were full blown. So that was the concern of the community and the staff. And everything is very confidential. And of course, you know, the staff wants to know who is it, and the parents want to know, is it my child's teacher? And
well, HIPAA laws.
Yeah.
All the HIPAA laws you can't.
By, so.
Let me ask you something though, symptom-wise, because people are always saying about the symptoms. Was it, you know, the fever, the coughing, the shortness of breath? Is that really the crux to the symptoms?
Well, this particular individual stated that they, in fact, did have a very high fever for the course of a couple of days. And the symptoms of a sore throat, that typical flu-like achiness. So very, very typical of what they are talking about and you're seeing over, you know, the news and whatnot. And also one of the paraprofessionals that works in her room now is being tested because she's exhibiting similar symptoms.
Wow.
Now, interestingly enough, I was just actually contacting, I had mentioned her before. I have a very close friend of mine who's a pediatric surgeon, and it doesn't matter what you are in a hospital right now. They're doing everything in a hospital at this point. And she said yesterday she was in more of the ER, and they're seeing a lot of cases coming in minus the fever, and they are giving them the test. They're coming in with sore throat, achiness, and severe GI issues. And they are, if you were exposed to someone who was positive, if you didn't have the fever end, they are allowing for the testing.
Oh, wow.
So it looks like that because we're getting more tests, it looks like they're allowing for a broader spectrum of testing. But, you know, it hit home a little harder last night, obviously, when it's, you know, someone that you now know. You know, the mister, he got the letter the other day from work that his company is an essential worker. So he's exposed to all of it still. But when you do have a spouse that gets a confirmation in their workplace, the Department of Health is letting us know, you know, how our spouses are supposed to proceed and how we're supposed to proceed. They told this individual's family that her family is supposed to just go about as if they do have it, and they're supposed to quarantine themselves. So we're all just kind of sitting tight and
but what do we do at the end of 14 days, Chris? At the end of 14 days, if you quarantine, do you get tested again to see if it's still there, or what's the deal?
I have to be honest with you. I don't know. I asked the coworker what they advised her, and she said they simply honestly told her to treat it like you would any other flu, and she is simply just quarantined at home. There is nothing different that they gave her. There is nothing different that they advised her than simply just staying away from, you know, anyone else in the household and quarantining. So a big portion of it that they explained to her is the importance of the positive now being documented. And for someone like her, that they're now able to notify the community in which she teaches, that they can let those around her know that there is a positive. So if you're exhibiting symptoms, they can document it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I just hear everybody throwing around the 14 days like it's a magic number, and then poof, it goes away. And like you said, with flu-type symptoms, once your fever breaks, I mean, hopefully you're on the road to recovery, but is it another week? I mean, no one really, they tell you the 14 days, but they don't really tell you what to do after that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, right now, I spoke to this individual yesterday. We've been hosting a lot of virtual meetings. She doesn't, I know you see a lot of people on the news. Some look a lot more ill than others, but she seems to be doing well. She seems to be, she feels achy. She feels as if you would if you had the flu. But she said, I honestly was expecting to feel so much worse because of what the media is making of it all. But again, so much relies on what your condition was before all this. She was a rather healthy individual before going into it. So she's thank God dealing with it fairly well. You get someone who has underlying conditions, it's a different story, so thank God and God bless she's doing well.
That's good.
Yeah. But I understandably I work in a population, I'm in the elementary level, so it's a lot of parents who are very concerned about their little ones, and a lot of staff members. We have some upper age staff members we have staff members who are going through cancer treatments and things of that nature. So they're all very, very concerned about, did I come in contact? Did I not? And so much of when a person does come forward and say they are positive, there's a lot of confidentiality pieces involved. And so you can't just say so-and-so has it.
Yeah.
You just have to watch for symptoms. So. Yeah.
My fear is in my place here, you have a lot of guys making real good money, and you would hope that if they have symptoms that they would come forward and not, for the sake of the paycheck, duke it out. I mean, but, some people are out for a paycheck and some people care about their health. So what I'm doing here, I get nervous. I see people all the time making stupid money. And if they look sick, it's like, hey, are you sick? But, what do you do?
Yeah, no, I completely understand. I'll be honest with you, I can understand that, my husband and I were just talking the other day. I've mentioned I have a side business where I work with, children that parents contact me to come in and work with them and service them outside of school hours. And it's been 19 years I've worked on building that side business, and something like this stops all that. And, last week before our governor stopped non-essential workers, I was still able to go into, some of the homes still and work with some of the children because they were getting home assignments. A couple of parents still wanted me to work with the children, and they knew I was home. So they knew I was safe, and they trusted that. And as of the other day, we stopped all of that. Because I have to look out for those children. They have to look out for their families. But it's a huge, huge crush to my side business right now. And, but, in the long run, their health is what matters. And, you have to think of that. So,
yesterday I delivered the other John Deere tractor I was working on yesterday, and the customer was funny. He comes out and he stayed about 10 feet away from me, and I showed him what I did and everything and all that stuff. Oh, your better half, or should I say other half, is wanting to chime in. Hold on. There he is.
Social distancing at its if our marriage could be the same way, this would be perfect.
No, but like I'm saying, I delivered this John Deere tractor, and the guy, he came up to me and said, "These are fresh non-COVID-19 bills," and I'm like, "Is there such thing as a COVID-19? Is there a COVID bill? I mean, what's it? Whatever."
But I don't even. You know what?
Money, I don't know.
It's funny how we posted our live with COVID-19 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I guess like it does the autocorrect. I don't even care how it's spelled. I mean, listen, I don't care about this virus. That's all. I really hate to say it.
Hey, Jason, just a question for you guys. You guys got to take out that olive branch and go give it to Henry, so I'm not in the in the basement anymore. All right.
I mean, listen. I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean,
no, it's all in good fun, right?
I said. I mean, listen. I just think it's an overreaction, and like I said, you mean like if you guys haven't noticed, Pete hasn't been on Henry's channel, but I never said nothing because that's not my business to say something. You know what I mean? Like,
yep. No, but we were just joking the other day. It's all joking. I mean, I love his channel. I love everything about what he does and his branding.
I said that on there. I said, I said, I think you're taking this the wrong way.
Yeah.
Ted loves your channel. He said he's hooked. Henry only focused on the negative. He didn't focus on the positive.
But I tell you, for someone that could retire at 51, God bless him.
Yeah. And if I could just say, Ken, I think everybody's feeling sensitive. We'll buy Henry a new pair of Crocs. It'll all be okay.
Hey, I'm serious.
What's up, Drifty? How are you?
I want to come
Hey,
down.
what's up, dude?
Stuff is over.
You had to wear a bonnet so that all that wind off that fan wouldn't hurt your head, huh?
Are you working, Jason?
Well, that's my excuse of why I have no hair. That's gonna be my forever excuse. I'm gonna have no hair. That it took off the top.
Oh, yeah.
I got too close to the fan, and it took off the top.
It looked like you had to push more on both sides.
So
Uh-oh.
yes, Ken, I am at work. I am considered an essential worker, and our job just gave us letters that we have to carry in our cars in case we get pulled over by the cops. So I guess
Yeah.
I guess they're really buttoning down.
You do like government vehicles, or what's the deal with that?
We do semis, 20-inch tandems. We work
Logistics.
on big stuff.
Yeah, logistics. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Ken, with
Yeah.
his company, it's a matter of their trucks are delivering like food and hospital supplies.
Yep.
Well,
So
right now, here you go. I'm working on this right now. This guy is actually a casket company. They do
Well, I hope you don't need those.
Yeah, I know, right?
oh,
they do the concrete, you just don't
Oh
stick
yeah,
the
the
casket
vault.
in the
Yeah,
ground.
the vault. Yeah.
It goes in the sarcophagus. They do the sarcophagus. So this guy
Yeah.
put a bunch of gas in his diesel truck. Can you believe this? Why would he do
Ooh.
that?
That's not
Do
good.
you think this truck takes gas?
even I know that.
Yeah, but don't.
Well,
I
look,
thought the
Well,
pumps
look,
don't fit, Jason.
well, look, you were talking about M18. This is what I use at
There you
work.
go.
The M12, and I use it at home. M18 is overkill, just in case you wanted to.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Now, here's what I'm working on, Ken.
Oh, what's that, Drift?
That's a engine out that F10. Remember I told you I rebuilt the engine in it?
Yep.
Well, I got some parts from what's that place? Rock Auto.
Mhm.
I got a gasket kit, a head
Okay.
gasket, and that thing was paper thin,
Uh-huh.
and it lasted about 2.5 months.
Oh,
So I went through eBay and got a lot better kit for a cheaper price.
Yep.
So now
Yeah.
I'm having to redo it.
Yeah, Rock Auto. One time I bought a fuel pump for my truck, and it was like $400 GM because I go with the factory. Didn't fit.
Yeah.
It was the wrong one. It had the right part number in it, but the box was
Yeah.
marked wrong.
And you know what I have to say about Rock Auto? You know what I don't like? When you have to return something, you have to pay the shipping on it.
Oh, yeah.
To return
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Are you kidding? It's like not only are they getting your business at a nice price, but you
Yep.
have to pay the shipping back.
no,
Yeah.
well, Rock Auto is cheaper than most, but then when you get warranty,
Hold on, Maddie.
it is. There's the off. That's
Oh,
the trick.
hey,
If you want to have
Chris,
the
your
original
favorite
warranty-
dentist wants to come on. Should I let him on?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, it's a
What's up, Matthew?
Hey, Maddie.
What's happening?
I'm working on the beard here. I need to be like the man.
Now it's a party.
I'm working on-
We're saving on shaving and another cleaning products by not practicing.
Yeah.
I
Well,
believe
you
not as
just need
clean
shampoo.
shaven, thank you.
Well, if it's like today, you have to have it to keep your face warm.
Yep.
Yeah, really. I know.
Yeah, today's a little brisk, but then when it becomes 70, it becomes a little tough.
You gonna try that saw outside, Maddie?
I don't know. I'm
Perfect
A little
weather for
stuff.
saw cutting.
I got about 2 hours of sleep last night, so I'm
Now,
sufficiently.
Ken, don't push him. He's got to rest his tennis elbow.
Oh, yeah, but he can sleep in.
There's a lot of times I only maybe get an hour's worth of sleep and then stay up all day.
Oof.
I can't say I was productive all night, but I mean,
Well,
My
I do
coffee-
that. I do like if I drink coffee right before I go to bed. I'm
Jesus,
waiting until
no,
the next day.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, no.
No, my doc wants me to go on that CPAP, but I won't do it. I mean, I'm up every couple hours, whatever.
That
the
thing.
breathing machine.
Well, I mean, it's so noisy. I mean, how can you sleep through all the noise?
The newer ones aren't though. They're not that bad. It's just that they
Oh, they're
want
not.
me to it looks like the alien creature on my face. You know.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? If you get a good night's sleep and you feel good during the day, I mean, it is what it is. A small price to pay.
Couple power naps during the day. That's fine.
Yeah.
Actually,
don't fool them.
I
You
know
went
some
to
people
bed at a
that-
good time one night, and you said how good you felt the next day.
Yeah, that was Monday because we worked all weekend long. You know, I'm sorry, I worked. You just sat on YouTube and did whatever. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's some nice people on YouTube to watch.
There certainly are.
Not me, apparently. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, you got 4 people on your panel so far.
Yeah, more than this morning. I had none. I had only had one this morning when Lucky came on. Mike came on.
Well, I was probably still asleep then.
Yeah,
So I think
so
I'm happy with the notification this morning.
Well,
whatever
I
you
didn't-
did this time, it worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
You got notified, Matt?
Yeah. I got the notification, but I was in the shower, so
Stuff rolling.
So
That
so
barrel,
Lisa,
that barrel is for my jet ski lawnmower.
Oh, okay, for the water pump.
Yeah, for the water pump.
Mhm.
I'm gonna cut it down to 25 pounds of water. I mean, 25 gallon of water.
Mhm.
I think 50 gallon would be hard to for that thing. Well, it may not be, but you know, it'd be top heavy if I don't cut it down.
Mm. Yeah, 8
I
pounds
got
a
a
gallon.
call coming.
all right, so listen, so how come we didn't get notification that you went live? Like
6
what
or
was the
7
issue with
people
that?
said they got notifications. The rest of you said you didn't. So I don't know.
Yeah, see if I go to
That's
my
weird.
notifications, they don't have you as a notification.
Yeah, well,
We
notification
do
set
have
so
you
we
set
don't
up.
notify.
There's Scott.
there it is.
Oh, Lord.
No.
He changed his name again.
Nope. You know
There's the
why?
dog.
You know why?
They
Because
kept calling you
there's
Mr.
there's a Mr. Briggs, and there's my Mr. Stratton. I just got him back today.
Aw.
Awesome.
Well,
Where
I
was he,
think-
the vet?
I think your days are numbered. I think there's an Asian assassin looking for you guys.
I mean, come on. If you're gonna have a Briggs, you gotta have a Stratton to go with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's cute.
They gain a horsepower every year. He's
You know
12
what?
and he's
I
3.
do have a problem. I got a problem with Ken.
Hey, small engines. I think it's YouTube on the notifications thing.
Well, hold on. What are you saying, Chris?
Ken posted a real great video before of a John Deere, and you had an opportunity. You could have kept that for me.
Yeah, but let me tell you though, Chris, the guy who owns that is the guy who got my daughter her job. So I gotta get it done. This is payback. This is a payback
I'll let
tractor.
it go.
Yeah.
You know that? Yeah.
That
Why, what
happens. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Mm.
That's a good
What?
thing. Yeah. That's
No,
a
my-
good thing.
I gotta find a used axle on eBay. They're like $50-$60. They're not that bad.
I
An
was gonna
axle
say,
for
what
what?
does Run?
It's an STX 38 Deere. You know, the lawn tractor.
It's a nice one.
How many you want?
Why you got him?
We got a lawnmower junkyard a block from me. It's got about 10 of them in there.
Nice.
Oh,
No, this is the
that's
one,
nice.
the newer one with the black decks. I think it's late 80s, early 90s. But you know, brand
Oh
new.
yeah, they're in there.
They still sell those axles, right? They're all welded assemblies, $444. I was like, the tractor's worth like $100. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't that crazy?
Oh. So, but anyway, like I said, I found a guy $75 shipped or whatever. No big deal.
Perfect.
Yeah,
he
because like I
wants to
said, this
just
guy
put
made the
stuff-
mistake when the axle bolt broke and the axle shifted. He kept driving it, and he destroyed the whole front end. So, nothing you can do.
Oh, okay.
If he just stopped when the axle bolt broke, could have changed the axle bolt. You know.
Yeah. So, Mister, babe, are you listening?
Yeah,
Pate.
Yeah.
Are you listening?
I'm listening.
So let me see if you react the way I thought. Matt was talking this morning on his live about chainsaws, right?
Okay.
When now, you're a heavy duty diesel mechanic, right? I want to see if I know you well enough.
Okay.
Out of all the things that someone can come up the driveway with you to fix, right?
Yep.
Would a chainsaw kind of be like the least attractive thing for you to want to fix?
Yes.
I won.
I used to hate two strokes up until about 2 years ago. I couldn't stand them.
Still
They were
hate
filthy, oily, greasy. I didn't like them. But now that I understand and can diagnose and troubleshoot, if you can't diagnose, you're screwed. It's not, not
Nope.
about to change parts with two strokes,
Mhm.
Now, if
What-
you don't
what?
know much
You call
about it,
yourself
just leave them
mechanic.
alone.
How can you
Yeah,
call
I hate
yourself mechanic because you don't like grease and oil? Grease and oil is what it runs in the mechanic's veins. Come on, that ain't a
No,
mechanic.
I know what. I
Oh,
just hate
Scott,
two-stroke
He rubs
because you
it
have to
on
pull
him,
on them
right?
forever sometimes. You know what I mean? I like my shoulder.
Well, why do you think? Hey, he's not old enough to be called a greaser now.
No.
I'm still a youngin'.
I mean-
I'm still junior, and a couple other nicknames that I can't share on YouTube.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one of my nicknames. When I used to be a mailman, and I'll tell you how This is one reason why everyone pushes unions. I don't like unions. I was pushed out because I was too good. They called me Killer Keller, the root killer,
Oh, okay.
because I would kill a route in 3 hours, and the regular would take 7. They hated my guts.
Yeah, but all the mailmen I know, Scott, they all have second jobs. They start at 4 a.m, they're done at 10, 11, and they go do their second job.
Yeah, that's where they are around here.
But they're paid 8
Oh,
hours
listen,
a day.
Oh, yeah.
I
No,
gotta go. It was good seeing you guys. I'm sorry I missed you in the morning. We have
That's
to figure out when you go live every morning so we know. Because I was
Well, I
checking
said,
my phone
I'm-
at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then I stopped. I'm
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, I don't remember.
I was
Yeah,
7:59 is when I went on. So
Okay.
Yeah, and I like the dinner ones too, Ken. Those are good too.
yeah, well, I think Mick is going on shortly or sometime this afternoon. I wanted to catch Mick. That's
Yeah.
always
All right, guys, have a good day. It was good seeing you.
Yeah,
All right,
Briggs.
see you,
Mr.
brother.
Briggs, you guys stay
So,
safe.
babe,
make the money.
so what do you think? Hey, babe.
What?
Yesterday you missed Mick's live. They did a dress up, right?
Yeah.
Do you
It was
wanna
hack
do?
day.
We could do our own later. What are you thinking?
Well, you don't need anything. You'll be fine.
Love you. So, Drifty,
But I-
what are you
I
getting
mean-
into over there?
I'm working on a Magdes 10 and a 2.2 engine.
Nice. Now,
I'm
Drifty,
try-
I
I'm
love
trying
your
to get-
accent. Where are you from?
Huh? I'm from
Where are you
Kentucky.
from with that accent?
I'm originally from Indiana, but I moved to Kentucky.
Nice. I was gonna say Kentucky too.
Louisville.
well, Yeah, I'm like 2.5 hours away from Louisville.
Nice.
I've been there.
Well, see,
Nice.
I was born in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Then we moved to Florida. Now we stayed down there for 10 years. Then we moved up to Kentucky. Then I moved myself up to Indiana, up there in Lawrenceburg. And no, Lafayette. Yeah, Lafayette. Then my mom got sick, and so I moved back to Kentucky, not by choice.
Mhm.
'Cause I can't stand Kentucky, but
Yeah,
you know,
I went
it
there
is
to
what it is.
in Covington. We were there for a while. Covington, Kentucky. Up
Yeah,
by the Ohio border.
I
Yeah, I
might
know
be
where
moving
it's
to
at.
Henry, Tennessee. So
well, you be next door then.
yeah, Henry, Tennessee. You get it, Henry. So I'll really
Yeah.
be able to have fun with that one.
I dropped you.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
You're not moving, are you, Chris?
No, I'm in one spot.
You need to get you one of them things you put on the dash and hold your phone.
You know what it was? I just wanted to run up to the post, and I wrote out a bunch of letters to some of the kids and dropped them in the mail, so they get a little something in the mail this week. Something to
Yeah,
lift
Do kids
their
know what
spirits
mail
a little
is?
bit. You know what? I am a firm believer in the things that our generation were used to. My children will know because a lot of kids don't.
Yeah.
And
When was the last time a kid wrote a letter? Really?
they don't even know what they are. They do them text
It's
messages
gonna be
now.
hilarious if you and Mr. Pate ever have kids. We'll see if you ever get snow. 5 snowblowers at the same time going back to back down a driveway. That's gonna be a good video. I can see that happening now. The kids snowblowers, the parents snowblowers. That's going to be a hell of a video when it happens.
Well, you know what, Scott? From my lips to God's ears, a little something about the Mister and I. We have been on the path to wanting a family for about, we'll be married. We've been together for a long time, but we've been married for 7 of those years, and we've been trying for 7, and we've been real close many, many, many times. So keep us in your thoughts and prayers.
There's something else though that you got to consider. I don't have any kids yet. I've got a woman that actually wants kids, but you know, there's always the thing called adoption. There's plenty of kids out there.
We haven't crossed that off. We haven't crossed it off.
Well, I know somebody, they adopted a kid, then they had a kid, then they told the adopted kid they wish they never adopted him.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes you. I'm just saying it just makes you want to smack them right in the mouth when they said that.
Sure.
Yeah, but you know something? The one thing about today's generation, and you know, I'm sure some of you agree with me, but my grandfather had the same belief as my father. A dusting on the you-know-what don't hurt nothing.
Yeah, a lot of them, they just give them a barely pat and then let them go.
But you know what's funny? My father had a whistling belt because he pulled that belt off so fast that it whistled when it came off his belt.
Yep.
And you'd run away and take off up the street, and he'd stand on the front steps, rocking back and forth on his heels, and just give the evilest laugh and go, "You got to come home sometime." And then you'd go out and play and come home and get your ass dusted off. So you know that's the way
My father would take his belt and go like that with it, you know, like the snap. And you heard that snap, and you knew it was going to sound the same way across your butt. And there were those like rivets in it, you know, like the eyelets.
Yeah.
And those eyelet marks were on your butt after you got a quick one. So we knew we would not do it again.
My grandmother, I mouthed off my grandmother one time, and she did the worst thing you could ever do. She said, "Go buy a lilac, get a lilac switch." She said, "Go pick one," and I picked, and like a dummy, I got the thinnest one I could find. I went and got the thinnest one I could find. Wrong.
Scott,
wrong.
You took the words out of my mouth. Growing up, so my mother was old school Italian. She was my brother got a frying pan to the back of his shoulder growing up because he skipped class once. My mother was a spoon.
If you are in the wrong part of Kentucky, why is that?
My
Small
mother
engine.
breaks the wooden spoons over my head.
Oh yeah. And
You know, my
grandfather was old school with the switch. Mm-hmm.
Mine was a rubber hose. Mine was a rubber hose with another hose inside of it.
Oh,
Now back when we was growing up, whatever they can grab is whatever you got whipped with.
Come on.
the closest thing.
Yeah, the closest thing, if it was a vacuum hose or anything.
My father used a fire hose with a rubber hose inside of it sometimes. Oh, now that hurt.
Oh, I bet.
And you turned out normal.
Somewhat. No, I'm joking.
Well, my buddy's
should've
well
been
pump
normal.
just died, so that's good timing.
What's that, Matt?
You're what?
My
He likes
buddy's
to
well
say
pump.
hello.
Your buddy's well pump just died.
Oh. What town, Matty? Near you?
Yeah, Eastman.
That'll be an expensive bill.
I
Oh, I
found
bet.
him in the river.
Oh,
I found this dude in the river. He's come a long way.
Oh, he's sweet.
Where
Come on,
was
yeah.
you, Scott?
Someone threw him in the river up Susquehanna down near Binghamton. I was coming home from work and I saw someone throw him out a car window.
Holy cow.
I got
sorry
in
about
trouble
that. My
for,
my phone's going dead.
I got in trouble for stopping and jumping in the river in the middle of January to save him about 2 years ago.
Wow.
I don't care. I'd do it again.
I figure I come and show love. My phone's going dead. I'll catch y'all on the next stream.
See you, Drifty. Take care.
Real nice.
All right, see y'all.
You talk about dogs and helping them out and stuff. We have a shelter 1 block from my house, And I guess you have to be 18 to walk the dogs and all that. But I noticed yesterday with all the stuff going on, people are ignoring the pounds, and these dogs have to be walked. So yesterday there was like an influx, about 20, 30 people, and all the dogs were out getting walked because you volunteer and they let you walk and feed the dogs. So that was interesting.
Oh,
You think that?
very nice.
Oh yeah. I don't understand why you gotta be 18 to walk a dog.
Insurance, I guess, something if you get bit or get hurt, whatever.
That's because people are so happy.
Yep.
That's why I pay $1,200 a year for 4 cars.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's cheap.
But I'm a truck driver. I get a discount.
Oh,
It's true.
That's the thing about like around here, a new car. If I was to buy say I bought a brand new Cadillac, say it's 60 grand or whatever, I'd be paying about $4,000 a year property tax.
I will never buy a new car again.
No, I'm just saying, just in my town, and you know, Chris, in your town too. You buy a new car in Long Island, your property tax will probably kill you.
You know what's
new
stupid?
cars- I'll tell you what's the most expensive was the day that I insured my brother. When he was 16 under my car insurance on Long Island, a 16-year-old.
Yeah, well, $5 grand. Yeah.
Oh my God. I think I started developing gray hair at that given moment because the amount it cost to insure him. Oh, good Lord.
You insured your kid brother? What are you, mental? What are you, nuts?
Well, you got to remember, he had me at that moment because when he started driving, my parents had only been gone for about a year and a half. So I got everybody else is driving. Everybody else has their permit. So I had the heartstrings story.
The guilt trip, yeah.
Oh man.
You know what you do? You know what you tell I would have told him, or I'd tell your kids at that point? Same thing my father told me. You aren't getting a license until you can buy your own car, your own insurance, your own gas. You can't do it. You're not driving. Simple. End of discussion. And you didn't argue.
Yeah. But I tell you,
you're not doing me a favor.
I got my license in 1979 when I turned 16. And the insurance, I'll never forget this. It was $100 a month, $1,200 a year. That was a lot of money back in 1979. I was working in a grocery store. My parents let me use their cars maybe 4 or 5 times a year. I could have taken a limo for what I was paying for insurance. You know, crazy.
My father would not let me drive his car until about 3 years ago. I never even got behind he wouldn't even let me. It was funny. I've changed his oil in his car for years. He wouldn't even let me start the truck and car to warm it up to. Literally, when he had a stroke and we had to take him to the hospital at the time, my car was sitting on a transmission jack, getting a new clutch put in it, and he didn't want me to drive him to the hospital in his own car because I wasn't qualified enough. I said, I'm 42 years old. I've driven long enough. I had to literally pry the keys out of his hand.
Wow.
Oh my.
Now, was that a Buick, Scott?
What?
Well, that was the Electra. Was that the Electra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My father's a cheapskate. I mean, you know, my problem is now it's like yesterday. I finally went and found some toilet paper. Yeah, believe it or not, I had to buy. I was out and I found some and I tried to buy 2 of them, one for me and one for my father. And I had to explain to the store. It says limit of 1. I said, look, I got a father with COPD. He said, bring him in yourself. I said, I can't bring him in. He's got COPD. He can barely walk. I'm not going to put him in, kill him, bring him into this store. He's homebound. I said, and I Skyped him on Facebook and said, there he is with his oxygen line running out and all. So what do you want me to do? So, and I said, I don't live with him. So what am I supposed to do? He said, we'll split it with you. Okay. I got me and my family at my house and he's got him and his family. We were supposed to split a 4-pack or a 20-pack. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. My father came to drive a car now. We won't even let him out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's had 4 strokes in the last 5 years, and I've taken the keys from his car. Try and do that with your father.
Yeah, that's the worst thing you do to an older person, man.
Yeah, but I had no choice. He
Oh,
runs
I know.
stop signs. He's running stop signs. He's delusional. He's got dementia going on. And the only reason why he even has the car because it's a lease car and he's got 4 months to go.
Oh, yeah. It's a hard
And he
step
thinks-
to take.
Yep. And he won't give up his license.
He doesn't have to give it up. It'll be taken from him.
No, it won't. They won't take it. You got a doctor will not. A doctor cannot legally make him get rid of it now.
No, but if he gets an infraction, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's already wrecked the car twice. A leased car. His insurance went from $200 a year to almost $2,000.
Wow.
Now he wants me to insure him. No.
Crazy.
Yeah, it'll be taken from him.
Yeah.
One
He'll
way
have
or
it.
another.
He ain't gonna have a car because the dealer won't sell him a car. They won't lease it to him anymore. They basically told me keep him away from that car so we can at least have something to sell when he's done with his lease.
Wow.
So, you know, I'm the one that's got the control, and he don't like it.
It's a hard thing for them to give up, I'm sure.
Hmm.
I'm sure. Aw.
Yeah, but we've been down this road. My grandfather, his own father went legally blind, and my grandfather called me up and I drove him to the DMV, and he turned in his license like a man. You know, and they were so impressed that he did that. They actually all chipped in and bought him a non-driver's license ID because he knew enough to give up his license. My father's just a stubborn man.
Well, Scott, I can't where you would get your stubbornness from then. Since you're such,
Yeah,
you're
believe
such a peach, darling.
Hey, I got Henry riled up. He sent me a text saying I was harassing him yesterday. He said, I saw you bashing me online, blah, blah, blah. I said, Henry, I'm not bashing you. If I wanted to bash you, I'd bash you. I could
Me
really
too.
bash you. But I'm not bashing him. I wasn't bashing him.
Nah. Just having fun.
I was giving him criticism. That ain't bashing him.
Yeah, cool.
Scott, I tell
I mean-
my husband all the time, you know, it's I laugh all the time when I hear, you know, people with drama and, you know, I'm a cancer survivor. I've lost my parents. I've seen a lot early on. Life is too short for such meaningless drama. Let it go, let it go, let it go.
Hey, it's like, you know, I got bit by my neighbor's dog last year, and a year and a half ago, almost lost my hand. Couldn't drive for over a year. I could legally, I get money for that from the insurance company from that. I could sit home and not work, but I can't do that. It's not my DNA.
Yeah.
I just don't. I gotta work,
Well,
especially now more than ever.
like Matt was saying, we're still working. I'm still teaching virtually from home, and it's been a full day each day, but I'm chomping at the bit to go back to like my regular schedule of, I like being fully busy all day long. Like this is killing me. Like not being back in the thrust of it. Like that. It's
This is fish out of water. This is really weird.
Oh, I can't handle
Really
this
weird.
right now. I can't handle it.
Right now, I just want the dentist to go back to work and finish my mouth.
Mark, you
go
like up to New York?
I might have to go. I might have to go to him and pull my last 3 teeth out. Believe me, you have no
Like
idea
I
what
said,
it's like
I'm
trying to eat.
expensive.
Hey, I'll bring you a lawnmower.
Do the general extraction, Matt. That's all.
I'll bring you a lawnmower for exchange. How's that? How about 3 or
It's
4
not
John
done
Deere?
by me.
What's that? How about a couple of John Deere SJX 63 push mowers?
If you had a couple 372s, you might go for it.
Oh,
394s.
Matt, run.
I got a couple of John Deere 318s. How about a John Deere 318?
yeah.
I don't think he's
Turn them
biting,
into
Scott.
green stuff first.
Aw. Hey, how about come on, a gearhead to another gearhead.
I am not easily swayed.
318s are good though.
Hey, I got one for you. I got a 1961 Cub Cadet I could give you. The International Cub
Hey, tell you
Cadet.
what.
Not
God.
I've had a bunch of those, Scott.
Trade it to Ken, and then maybe Ken can turn it into cash and trade it into me.
I do. I have the original first generation Cub Cadet, 1961 with the high-low gearbox.
Oh,
Yeah, but does it have the pin-on spindles?
Yeah, I got
The
the
top
Mower deck.
No,
Yep.
the top of the spindles, are they pin-on?
Yep,
The original ones had the pin-on.
yep.
What number? You got
Yep.
serial number? Is it
I have
3-digit?
no. Yeah,
If it's a 3-digit, tell me the digit, because I can tell you what it's worth. I've
it's in
been,
the
I've been restoring National Harvester Cub Cadets for 20 years. So
Yeah, it's the narrow frame Cub Cadet with the 7 horsepower Kohler, the high low gearbox right in the center, and the 3-speed.
yeah, oil bath air cleaner.
Yep.
Yep. You got the Grote tail light and the headlights. Those were options.
Nope, I didn't get those, but
How
I
about
do
the
have the singles. I got the snowblower with the trailer with the metal fenders over the top.
Yeah, the CW36. But what about the headlight? The headlights were bolt-on options from the farm-alls. They also had a single Grote tail light was an option. A 3-point
I didn't get
sleeve
those.
was an option.
Mine's got the square mower deck, the rectangular mower deck with the little lever on the left-hand side. Yep.
It's a timed mower deck. If you don't have the blades like this, you'll smash them.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And those timing belts aren't cheap.
They're Gilmer belts. They're about $40. Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't cheap for a belt. Not for. There's a guy online that sells reproduction mower deck belts for that machine,
Oh,
and they're awesome. The only thing I did different with mine is I got tired of trying to keep that belt and make the blade shut off. I modified it. I put an electric PTO on it, tightened up the belt. Much better design. Because they'll cut anything. Those old Cub Cadets were hard to steer, though.
Oh, yeah, not like the Deers. The Deers had better steering geometry.
Oh yeah.
See, I've got my dad. I'm borrowing my dad's Ford 1220 right now.
Look at that lazy ball.
with the front end loader and 17 horse 3-cylinder diesel. And I was moving around logs yesterday. I have 8x8s that I was moving around 14-foot oak 8x8s. Moved them around yesterday. That was fun. So I don't need a Cub Cadet.
How'd you get that home, Matt?
My one of my buddies up here actually had a trailer. I forget what we were doing, and it was a Sunday, and he's like, "Oh, I got time," and I'm like, "Okay, well, let's go down to Dad's and see if we can pick up the tractor because I could use it and we could move stuff around." And he's like, "Okay, let's go down there." So we grabbed Megan, threw her in the truck, and went. So it was nice of him to drive me all the way down to Dad's, pick up the tractor. Sorry, what?
Friends always know when you have a truck and trailer.
What, Ken?
Very true.
Well, yeah, it was nice. It was nice of him to have the to do that. But he's one. He's getting all the 8x8. So he's got 4 red oak 8x8s there that I milled for him, plus the pine 8x8s. I forget how many there are. I think it's 9 8x8s total. So those are all for him. But he's the guy that came in and did all the excavating for me for my fence. So he came in with the backhoe and made a hell of a mess. But at least I can put my fence posts in because I had absolutely no hope of doing them by hand.
Where was that in your yard, Matt?
No hope. Yeah, all along the backyard, thing. Yeah, right along the back border. There's a fence that I'm putting in. So, and all the posts I milled. They're just pine posts, but you creosote the ends and tar them good, and then they won't rot too quick.
What's what they say? Fences make great neighbors.
So true.
Yeah,
well,
fences
I'll
are
make a
too.
good neighbor because I've got all the chainsaws. I have more chainsaws than anybody. If anybody wants a chainsaw, they come down to my place. They know. But I also have a backyard that looks like a lumber yard, so I need a fence there. We don't need the neighbors seeing that.
Yeah. We believe in a good fence and some really nice tall arborvitaes at our house.
Yeah. Actually, here, hang on a second.
We just need a little bit more growth on them right now. They're still baby arborvitaes.
There's the view out the back window.
Oh, that's some nice land, Matt.
lumber. Well, yeah, have half an acre, but you can actually see. Oh,
That the
can I
shed
zoom in
mill?
on that? No.
You should see it. He's a nice shed, Chris. He built it himself out
Yeah.
of his own lumber.
That's beautiful.
There.
Yeah,
Oh,
There's
wow.
the shed.
That's beautiful.
So we have the garden here with the raised beds that I'm working on. Oh, I messed something up. Hang on. There we go. Yeah. So we have the garden with the raised beds, shed over there, and then we got all the lumber stacked up. And so the fence will help, make better neighbors, like you said.
Sure.
At least that's the
Looks
idea.
so calm and peaceful, though. Beautiful.
So, and I got all the cherry trees along the side yard. So that's been.
What are you doing this year, Matt?
As long as we don't have a frost, we're going to be good. I was predicting 300 pounds of cherries last year, but we had so much wet that we had 2 pounds.
Yep.
It was really disappointing. I've had years. I had 1 year we got 115 pounds
Wow.
off of 6 trees, and the next year we got just around 100. And then the next year, now we've got 2. It was that. Yeah, last year was bad because it was so wet that we had no pollination at the right time.
Oh.
So that
What's
was
that
that
one
was the
variety,
problem.
Matt? The one that's a peach color, the real sweet one.
Mm.
What's that variety?
You like? Well, the Rainier is my favorite.
Rainier.
That
There
yellow.
we go. Rainiers, yep. They have them in the
So I'm-
supermarket once in a while, and too expensive.
Yeah, $10 a pound.
Yeah. That's sweet,
10
really.
bucks a pound.
Yeah, a lot.
They're great, and really, there definitely is not a bad cherry on the bunch. It's just a matter of what's my favorite, and my favorite for sure is Rainier. You do need to plant a bit of a variety because you need the pollination,
Yeah, the
but
cross
mostly Rainier would be what I would plant at this point. And I have a number of varieties. Vandalay, Lapins, Craig's Crimson, Nugent. I have more than a few varieties, but for sure the Rainiers are the best.
Mhm.
My opinion.
Did Washington have the Blossom Festival yet down there? Did it ever bloom, or is it still too early? Because I know my brother lives by D.C., and they always have a huge cherry blossom festival down there around Easter time.
Yeah, it's probably still too early there. In Texas, the cherry blossoms come out in February. But
Yeah.
here, I was worried last night. We had a hard freeze, and the blooms had not opened. So that was good. The buds hadn't opened, but it's real close. I mean,
They're
we're
talking about maybe
getting
snow tonight. They're saying
snow's
maybe
not
snow.
a problem.
Yeah.
A hard freeze would be a problem. That would be bad. Flowers don't need that. So my dad's always said, once every 5 years you get a dump of cherries, and I hope it's more often than that. But the problem with dads is that they're very often, not wrong. So here in Connecticut, it's tough to have cherries or really any fruit, actually.
What do you want, Mr. Briggs?
So he wants to go
He
out.
wants attention. Clearly, he's had none all day.
Cherry trees would be beautiful. We don't have the yard space for that, that's for sure. We're too far up on the North Shore on Long Island, so the properties up on the North Shore, you tend to sacrifice the land, but we're probably about, I would say, a 4-minute car ride from the water. And what's nice about over here is there are so many small beach pockets that it almost feels like you have private beach land over here. So that's real nice, but you do sacrifice your own property though, unfortunately, as far as not your house size, but your actual land. So that's sad. But I'm looking forward to simply the night temperatures going up because I want to turn the power washer on. I want to power wash the fence. That's bothering me. When I was cleaning out our sheds the other day, I hate all like the grime on the PVC fence. So I just want to get the power washer going, to be honest with you. But it's just still dropping. So last night it dropped to 28 here on Long Island. So it was still like real cold. I don't want to chance it yet. So we'll see. We'll see. I wish we had a backyard like yours, Matt. That's beautiful. Beautiful. I grew up more like middle Long Island,
Come on.
but inwards. And I had about 3/4 of an acre growing up. We had apple trees on our property. And I was only maybe 17 to 20 minutes away from where we live now. So it just shows you as you go more northward on the island, the significant decrease in the amount of property that you do get. But I know the mister would rather have the property I grew up on, to be honest with you. So he reminds me of that daily.
My two neighbors right next to me, sideways and across the street, are from Long Island. And the only yard they had literally was concrete. They had about 3 feet in between their houses and maybe 10, 12 feet in the back. That's it.
Yeah, my
And then
backyard's
we had
huge.
I gotta
You know,
run, guys. I'm gonna say see you later. Have fun, and everybody be safe and be well. Okay.
Yeah, we're coming up on an hour, so I'll probably end
We'll
it
talk to you
anyway.
guys later. Thanks. Take care.
See you, man.
Yeah, I got a big yard.
Yeah, it looks like it, Scott.
Yeah, well, it goes all the way over there, and it goes all the way down there.
Wow. How many acres you got, Scott?
Ken,
About 4.
I'm just
It goes all the way to the
going
river.
to run and run an errand where I am now. If you jump on again at some point today, I'm gonna literally run an errand and be home. But if you jump on any more, I want to make sure I catch you. But
I think Mick's
Bye,
going on
everybody.
later if you want to catch Mick and the boys. So
oh my god, I would love that. What time is Mick jumping on?
I think it's around 3:30 our
Oh my
time,
God,
something like
wait.
that.
I can't
What?
see the comments when we're on, but I just looked now. Was that him down there? Who's the lady talking?
Oh, wait. Yeah, there you go. Mick's just chimed in. There you go. Mick, what time you going on tonight?
You're
I think
fresh,
Mick's going
man.
on tonight.
You're fresh. Yeah, can you ask him what time he's going on, Mr. Fresh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a video of running this beast pretty soon.
Let's see if he responds. I asked him what time the stream is. I thought it was around 3:30 or 2:30 our time.
Oh,
And-
okay. that'll be
Ed's going on
perfect.
tonight, 7 o'clock.
Oh,
so
yeah,
Ed-
that
There's
I knew about already. That
Yeah.
I know. We do.
Yeah.
We never miss that one. That's a good time because usually I've got dinner done by then, and sometimes the mister showered up by then, sometimes not.
Oh, actually, Nick
usually
just
he's
says
home by
it's-
then, too.
It's Dusty tonight, Snobby's wife. It's Dusty's turn. So Dusty does
Oh,
the
okay,
Sunday night.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay,
All right.
sounds good. So
You
All
ever
right,
seen
we'll
one of
probably
these?
see you guys on those.
Good to see
All right.
everybody.
We're gonna take it. All right, we're gonna take it easy. Scott, we're leaving. Bye, Scott.
Bye.
Bye,
See you,
Scotty.
Chris. See you, everybody. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.